So in this video, we're going to do a little demo on Web App Builder. So I'm in ArcGIS Online, I'm in my Content tab, and I've clicked on a folder, and I'm going to create the app in Web App Builder, and that. Now the 2D, 3D thing, if you're doing scenes, you definitely got to go 3D. Because you're doing low code, no code solution, you're not going to feel it as much. But if you're making a custom widget like Web App Builder Developer Edition, the code is different enough in the APIs, like promises are different. These arrays in 2D, which is 2D is the 3, 3D is the 4. In 4 they have collections. So your code's actually different when you're interacting with some of the objects and that. So definitely if you're doing a custom widget, then you are going to feel it. Okay, so better name this one. And that. So I just gotta remember to delete this because I won't need it after the video and that. And it remembered what folder I'm in. A little bit different than Experience Builder. Experience Builder kind of hangs outside of ArcGIS Online, even though it uses it as storage, infrastructure as a service. But Web App Builder is inside ArcGIS Online, so it's aware of your folder structure, which actually suits me for this particular demo. Now, depending what theme you pick, they'll show up on the left here. It kind of sets your default controls and that. So if you're on a billboard, you might notice a subtle change, but you have some widgets you can configure here and here. So 2 areas for widget configuration. If I go to foldable, I actually have 3. There's going to be a header. So this is a place where I can put widgets. I can put widgets down here and some here. One thing you might not, it took me a while, and everything's like this, all depends. There's a third place here, and this widget is specific to Open Attribute Table. And so sometimes you can pop the attribute table for a layer in a map and have the widget wherever you want, header. But in this particular theme, if you want that, it's decided for you that it's this tab on the bottom. Okay, end of story. You don't get a choice. So you got to get used to how some of these themes work. Now, all these themes have been replicated on the Experience Builder side as well. And that. So I guess we could get into, you got to pick a map. That's your data source, right? And that. So I'm going to pick the one I had in Experience Builder. And that's going to, restrict bookmarks, restrict layers that you can use to feed other widgets and that. So now I'm going to go into my widget area. So this, right, is this area up here. So if you watch this corner, you'll see as I hover over here, it's highlighting which widget it is, which is good. I'm going to leave those alone for now. This area is where? It's really this area here, this and this find location thing. So do I want search? I can turn it off, right? So all it means is it's not going to show up. Do I want home? Nah. Clean up the interface. Do I want location? No, I'm okay. And that sort of thing. But I'm going to have these floating widgets here. There's nothing in them, so if I ran this right now, nothing appears because I haven't set them. So I can set them. So I was going to do this. Hey, I want to put the table widget here. It's not showing up, okay? Because this theme already has the table widget set up. So let's go here. Attribute table. I need to go in and configure it. How to set it. You could have, I guess in Web App Builder, you have one map. In Experience Builder, you can have many maps. So you can, in Experience Builder, that's another thing too. ESRI is always solving a many of many problem, and you might have a 1-1-1 problem. I got one map with one layer, but I still got to go in and configure stuff in that. So it's set to my map, it's set to this layer. I'm going to go in and just check this is showing all these fields as visible, which is fine. In that, I'm going to actually change this, and will it let me? Oh, it's having a bad render day. I'll pick this one, but I can't tell what it is. I think I'll go back to Object ID and make sure that Object ID is actually visible as well, and that sort of thing. Oh, and turn on Show Attachments. I'll do that as well. Enable Filter by Map Extent, which means that the rows I see in the table will only be the ones that are actually visible in the map. I'm kind of okay with that. Synchronize with laser. We'll leave that for now, and so we'll just go okay. In that, I'm gonna go save. Would it be worth it to preview that? Let's see if it's actually working. Let's go to a preview thing and just pop up. Wait. Got rows. Okay, good. And that happy. Got attachments too, right? You can pop those up and right? Take a look at the fire hydrant, that sort of thing. So that's all working. So it does attachments differently. And so you get to see, well, is that how I want my users to interact with the app? I'm going to pop that back down, go back to configure. Table's working, happy with that. I'm going to add some widgets in here. So how do we do that? There's a third area. Now, not every theme has 3 areas for widgets. If you don't have a header, then you'll be down to 2. You usually have this zoom area, and usually there's some here, but it might be a little box off in the corner. Every theme is different. You may or may not have this tab. It depends on the theme. So if you click on here, I'm going to add, who do I want to add? It's a good question. I will add bookmarks. Now bookmarks are kind of broken right now, for me anyway today, and the cloud's like this. Is it a bug? Is it the cloud having a bad day? I don't know. And so I'm just going to OK, but that shows you that it would show up there. Now these other ones that you're not using will disappear when you run the app. So if we go preview, right, we just see the floating bookmark icon done in that. So I'm going to go back to configure. I'm going to add some more. Click on this one. We can do a chart. Now this is takes some getting used to. These charts are very interactive. It lets the user tap on a lot of things. Usually on a mobile device, you're like, well, I don't want them tapping on that many things. And it's a many to many. You can have many charts in here and let the user play around in that. And charts will be based on vector operational layers, vector layers in your map. I only have one, but potentially you could have more so that you know which one you want. I'm going to do display values by category, and the column category field is color, and the field values I want on the pie charts. Yeah, I might as well go color too. It'll show you something. You can do some stuff like summing and that. It's up to you. I'll go pie chart. I'm okay with the colors right now, even though they're going to be all messed up and you would have to fix them. And that. So I think, are we good with that? It's pretty good. The one thing is that I wish you could set more stuff so that the chart would just appear, because you're going to notice that there's a little wizard or dialogue you get driven through and that. So, okay, so let's go preview on here. I should probably go save and that. And so when I go chart on here, the chart doesn't magically appear. It first says, well, which layer? I said, well, I already clicked that. Do you want to use the spatial feature? Well, yes, I do. Only the ones that you can see in the map? Yes, okay. And then you got to go apply. So I would say, from a mobile phone experience, way too much clicking and tapping. It would be tapping on a mobile phone and that sort of thing. Maybe that's okay, but it's very dynamic because a person could choose what chart do you want to see, how do you want to see it. It gives the web user lots of choices, but in terms of mobile, less taps are better. And maybe if that's what I'm after, I don't use this. I would actually use a dashboard or something where I could, lock down all those options and just make it automatic for the user. Now, we got lucky in a way. Notice that my orange is green and my blue is blue and my lime green my lime green is yellow. My blue is blue. That's good. But my red is gray and unknown is orange and stuff. So I would take some time to get the colors right on that, right? Because it has no idea what the meanings in the column are for and that. But something where you do have something themed up like that, you maybe want the pie chart to match your cartography. Something that's still lacking in some of the apps. Just say, hey, go look at the color of my features and use that for your pie colors. That would be a killer feature. And because it's a killer feature, I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist yet. It would be nice. So none of these solutions are perfect. This is where someone might go, you know what? I need to build a custom web app builder widget so that when we do a chart with a category, the colors we use for the pies, we go back to the feature service and pull the colors from the symbology on the features in that. So that's something where I could see, I'd be tempted to build that widget and that, but not in Web App Builder. I'd build it for Experience Builder myself. But let's give you a little bit of overview, right? Always save, and you can always launch. You can do a full, this is like the preview area is nice. I'll give them that much. Just so you can see what it might look like if someone rotated their phone and that, right? Okay, that all looks good for now. And is that what you want? I don't know, sure if I like where these are floating, right? So then I might actually go, okay, let's go redo this in another template. Now, I've only spent 5 or 10 minutes, so it wouldn't hurt to say, you know what we're doing? We need a more reduced template with less on it. No header. We want these buttons float up at the top floating, or maybe down at the bottom in that. So you got to play around with the themes to see which one you like and works for the device that you're deploying on. Know your audience, know the realm they're in, desktop, web, mobile kind of deal. And Here it would be, web or mobile, because the web part would be desktop. But no, even well, tablet, phone, different screen size. Know where you're going in that, and then definitely test. So get this on a real device, see how it really looks, how it really responds, and that. So that's all for now.